Hello my beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Like that you'll be notified as soon as I release one of my new videos. So welcome back and thank you for being here. Today I'm dedicating a video tutorial on how to curl your hair. Now before we continue, I'm just going to explain to you a little bit of the preparation that is involved in order to have beautifully curled hair. Okay? So we might need to take a few things into consideration before we start curling our hair. For example, our hair texture. What type of hair texture do you have? Curly, wavy, or straight? If you have straight hair, all you have to do is just either let it air dry naturally or just air dry it with a blow dryer, because you want to keep a little bit of that grip into your hair so your curls can last. If you have wavy hair, then if you want to have some clean curls, you might want to blow dry your hair just like me. If not, you can go ahead and curl it on your wavy hair. There might be a little bit more frizz, so don't forget to add a wonderful blowout cream, as I did, in order to make it smooth. If you have very curly hair, you might want to blow dry your hair in order to get some smooth curls, unless you are kind of curling it the same size of your curl to just give it a refresh. So always think, what is the final result that you want, and try to go in the appropriate steps to get the appropriate result. Now, every time you curl your hair, you're gonna wanna either use a blowout cream if you're blow drying it, because that's going to ensure that your hair will be nice and smooth and even shinier. And also you want to use a thermal protector. So when I blow dried my hair earlier on today, I used my Monet Thermal Styling Shield Protectant. It goes up to 450 degrees. And what you're going to do is that you're always gonna read the instructions. Some thermal protectors you can apply it on dry hair, and some of them you apply it on damp hair before you either blow dry it or let it dry naturally before adding direct heat to it. So make sure you read the instructions. And whatever it can be, always make sure that you're applying your products mid-length down to your hair, because you don't want to apply it to your roots because it'll just get heavier. And we have natural oils on our scalp that go about 2 to 3 inches down on the top of our hair. So that part is usually more hydrated and more nourished. Where you really want to focus your attention is mid-length and down. If you are straightening your hair, then you want to make sure that you're applying the thermal protectant everywhere, especially if you have super curly hair and you're going around the edges or at the roots. That will be another tutorial for you. I also love to use my Monet Blowout Cream. And what's really cool about this is that it's infused with the Rejuvenate oil that helps nourish, hydrate, and repair. Most Monet products are infused with the Rejuvenate oil, so you can assure yourself that you're getting high quality. Let's just take a minute and look on how much my hair has grown. If you go back into my old videos, you're going to see that 2 years ago, I filmed my worst hair experience ever. If you've had a bad experience in your hair and your scalp, I highly recommend you go check out that video and just compare the length that I had 2 years ago to the length and thickness and shine that I have now. All right, so I know you guys are super excited. Let's begin on learning how to curl your hair. All right, so now we're gonna curl our hair. You gotta make sure what tool you're using, because different tools will give you a different feeling and a different approach on how to curl your hair and a different result. Out of my professional opinion, I prefer using any type of hot tools that are titanium, because they distribute the heat evenly throughout the barrel or throughout the plate if it's a flat iron. And it's always going to ensure that the heat is distributed and helps set the hair and not just burn the hair. However, make sure you don't want to curl or use hot irons too frequently on your hair, because it's still heat. So to keep the integrity of your hair, You can opt for blow dries or do 2 braids and have a natural beach wave look. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to be using a curling iron that looks like this. So this is my Bionic curling iron. What I love about this iron is that the length of the barrel is pretty long. So when you have longer hair or thicker hair, it's good because you get to wrap it around. What I also love about this iron is that it has a swivel, okay? Some irons don't have that swivel. This one does, which is great when you want to go on top of the hair and swivel it, and it's really going to create a beautiful shine. It's not obligatory. You can still get a beautiful shine with your regular curling iron. When you use a wand, you're going to make sure that you're using it with a glove on your other hand because usually they can get very hot. So you don't want to burn yourself. But I do have a tutorial on that, how to curl your hair with a wand. Let me know what you think and let me know if you want me to do another one with this length of hair. So make sure that your iron is always on. And what I love to do is that you either put a towel on the surface that you're curling your hair on, or you can get a wonderful little tool like this and your iron will just go inside and you can just leave it on your counter, and like that you'll avoid getting burned. Make sure you're always very careful with your hands and especially around your face when you are using hot tools. You will also be needing some little clips, so you can either have a long alligator one or a clip, doesn't matter as long as your hair is separated. So let's do this by the simplest, easiest way. Let's start first by splitting our hair in half, basically in the middle. A hair is pretty much in the middle, doesn't have to be perfect because it doesn't matter. We're going to take this as a little ponytail and you're gonna calculate right here, this is your ear. You're just gonna go with your finger straight across until that middle part. Take that and now you have this section in the bottom that is free to be curled, and we will clip this away. So it's gonna be so much easier and you're gonna have better curls like that. And it's just gonna be so much simpler for you not to get lost. So you go ahead and you do the same thing on the other side. All right, so this is my new style. So you see we have our 2 sections. Always make sure that you split it right in the middle so you can have half on each side. An important thing when you're also curling your hair, you want to make sure that you're in front of a mirror so you can see what you're doing and see where your iron is going, because remember, this is very, very hot, especially this one. It goes up to like 447 degrees, titanium, so it is hot. Depending on the thickness of your hair, you might want to divide this between 2 to 3 sections. If you have extremely thick hair, maybe even 4. If you have thin hair, probably 2. But always the sections will determine also how the hair will look. The bigger a section, the bigger the movement. If I want to have something that will last and that's going to show, I'll probably do this in 3 sections. So I'll just could separate that in 3 right away. So like that, they're pre-separated. And I'm going to start. So when we're doing the half part, in this style, we're going to curl everything away. So whatever I'm gonna curl on this side, I will curl it away from my face, and whatever I do on this side, I will curl it away. I'm gonna show you a full curl to the bottom and one leaving the ends out. And you can also apply hairspray if needed. I personally do not need hairspray on my hair because my hair holds pretty well. So we're gonna take the piece of hair, make sure you brush your hair out before you do all this, straighten it out. Your clip, whatever your clip, if it's swivel or not, your clip has to be facing forward because you're gonna go under and in between your clip, this is where you clip it like that, okay? And then you're going to start turning your hair around, you see? And what you could do is if you don't have a swivel tip like me, you can always open a little bit of that clip part, open it smoothly, and then you're gonna want to envelop that little end. You see that little end there? If we leave that out, it's gonna be straight. So you want it to have a little curve. So you wanna make sure, look, I'm gonna show you. See? That's what the swivel is really cool. You can do it like that, and oops, kind of slipped out. But let me tell you, this is a really hot one. So I really don't need a lot of time on this. Woo! You see the steam coming out? That can be very normal, especially if you've also put product in your hair. The steam is kind of like when you're blow drying it or doing certain hot tools. It's just the product or water evaporating from your hair. So this is a curl all the way to the bottom, okay? So this is our typical curl hair. You can do your whole hair like that, and that's fine. And I just want you to note the difference of length of the curl. So already, just because I curled it all the way to the bottom, I've already like lost about almost 2 inches of length in my hair. But remember that the hair will always kind of fall. So if you really want to have that voluminous, beautiful, fluffy look, this is a beautiful look to go. Let's take the second strand. I'm gonna leave the tips out. Now what you can do before you go, no matter what type of iron you have, just take the bottom and kind of flatten out those tips so they're more sealed. And like I said, clip in the front. And like that, you have it in the middle, okay? Because remember, wherever you put that clip and you turn like this, it's gonna give you that curve. Never turn, when you do this, when you put the hair inside the curling iron, don't curl opposite from the wand because you're gonna have a demarcation, a line, and it's gonna be pretty hard to get out of your hair, okay? So always go with the curve. So if this is doing this, naturally the curve is beautiful like this, because if you go like this, the curve is it's not working. You see? I'm cutting the hair there. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's already like a line, you see, in my hair. So that's what I want you guys to avoid, because I see that this is a very common problem with people that want to learn how to curl their hair, but they're always like getting confused. So I'm always using my 2 hands. This is why you need a mirror. Open your clip a little bit, don't let go of the piece, and then roll it. You see, I'm using both of my hands. Hold the tip again, open the clip, pull it through, and roll it. And here at the end, I'm just gonna be careful, and I'm just gonna open slowly, slowly, slowly the clip, just to make sure that everything is inside. Oh, I did the same one. It's okay. And see? Ta-da! Curly, curly. Okay, I'll do the last one without the tip. I think I got too excited showing you guys. So I take the hair mid-length down, and I just go like that. Clip facing outwards. In between, close, follow the barrel. Careful, you don't want to put your hands all the way around because you don't want to burn yourself. Take your time also. Okay, so here, I'm bringing the curl. I think I turned my barrel about 3 times, right? And you see the ends are out here. And I'm about like 2.5 inches from my scalp and about 2 inches, 1.5 inches from the bottom. And then I open my clip, and you see, woo, this is hot. It is more straight at the bottom. So I do gain a little bit more of length, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep on doing this here. So I'm gonna follow the first curl that we did because I already did 2. And I'm gonna show you how to do it on the opposite side. So obviously my torso has turned a bit, so you need to keep in mind all these little movements that you're going to be using. Now I'm curling it this way. I'm curling away from my face. So remember, you're gonna wanna make anywhere from 2 to 3 sections. So you can have a good amount of hair, but also have enough heat for it to set and settle there. So now, clip. Remember, the clip goes out. This is how it has to look if I'm curling it away from my face. See? That's 1, 2. Now the cool thing about this swivel is that, look, I could just do that. I will be putting down the link of my Amazon where I purchased this, and they have different sizes as well. I forgot which size this is, but I'll find out and I will put it down in my descriptions. Let's do this again. If ever you want to curl your hair inwards, you can. It gives it more of that retro look. You know, when the ladies had the curls from inwards, it's a beautiful look. You can also alternate. You can do one side away, one side in. And that is a great technique to do, especially if you have very thin hair and you want to create more volume. So I'm using the swivel effect because I have that. If not, remember, you're gonna have to start gauging, opening the clip just a tiny bit to let that hair slip through. And then, you see, I get to let go. Again, clip in the front. And just turn it. Some clips can be a little bit tighter than others, so sometimes you can't just pull it through. You're gonna always have to open it, and some of them are a bit smoother like this one. What I like to do also is that since we're curling the hair, let it set. So you feel that it's hot, try not to like touch it or open it right away because it might fall out much more quicker, or it might get really frizzy depending on the texture of your hair. But you know what? Feel free to try new things because you need to know what works for your hair. Now let's go on to our second section. I already got the bottom part. So here I'm gonna go about a little bit higher than my eyebrow. So just right around my temple, or a little bit higher because my temple's here. And I'm gonna do as much of a straight line that I can. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is a section and this is another section. So like that, you'll be able to do this. Also, if you're straightening your hair, if you're blow drying your hair, these sections are really easy to do and it gets the job done. So again, depending on the thickness of your hair, you might wanna do 2 to 4 sections. I'll do 3 big sections here. So remember, we are doing this away from the face, like this. If I want this curl to go inwards, I would go like this, and we can try that, okay? Because I just want to show you what it's going to look like. So same concept, now we're going in. So the curl is moving inward. So whatever movement you're doing with your curling iron or your wand is the movement that you will get as a curl or a wave. So this is an inward curl. So look at the difference between this one and that one, right? We can clearly see here the curl is going out, and then we can see here the curl is going in. And do you see that shine with the heat? I also feel that when I use the protectant and especially the blowout cream, it gives that extra protection, shine, smoothness to the hair when you use the hot tool, because what it does, it kind of seals those cuticles. So now I'm gonna go this one outwards. Okay, hold it. See, I flipped it around. Hold it, and then you can just either open your clips until you get the end. Now, why do we start here? Because in this case, I want my curl to kind of start a little bit higher on top of my hair because it's gonna create a bit more volume, not more volume actually, it's gonna create more body into my hair, and I'm gonna have more of a movement to it. Whereas if I start from the bottom, the curl will only drop at the bottom. So always know that there are different options for different results. Woo! You guys can feel the heat, it's crazy. So you see, outwards, and then this one, inward, okay? Outward, inward. And now we do the other one. So I went ahead and I just completed the other side, as you can see, and I'm going to remove the top. So again, 2 to 4 sections, whatever you may need, depending on the thickness and curl that you desire. Bigger the sections, the looser it will wind up being. Now I will be keeping my part in the middle But at this point, you want to make sure that if you want to do a side part, whichever side, that you already curl it according to the part that you want. You can curl it in half and then flip it, because I do that as well. But if you really want your curls set in a certain way, make sure that you determine that before you curl your hair in the front. Let's go and proceed to the other side. And there you have it. I curled my hair, let it set for a bit for it to cool down, and then you can use your favorite oil to open it up and give it your final touch. So I'll be using my favorite oil, Rejuvenique by Monet. I'm just gonna take a few drops. 3 for my hair is more than enough. You just rub it between your hands so you warm up that oil. Make sure you always start at the bottom, separating your hair in half and just kind of like brushing it through your fingers, bringing it to the top. I want to go again, bottom. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells delicious. It's filled with 13 natural botanical oils, and it has lemon and so many other yummy stuff. So I opened them. And as the day will progress, they will fall down even a little bit more, but you know what? I'm liking the style. If you want, you can go ahead and you can add your favorite hairspray. And then like the rest of the excess that you have, you can apply a tiny bit on top just to get rid of those flyaways. And there you have it, how to curl your hair. I hope this helped you a lot. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. You can either leave me a comment, or what you can do is you can join me on my website, blankitastyles.com, and I have a live chat there. So if you have any questions, you can always ask me. Take care, and I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Ciao! Mwah!